of the volunteers came all the way from the Senegalese region of Casamance to help with the harvesting exercise.
Over 3,000 volunteers from across the country and beyond over the weekend stormed the president's over 8-kilometer farm for a harvesting exercise. The exercise has been funded and coordinated by the Office of the Vice President. Lamin Nyabali, Permanent Secretary, Office of the Vice President, held the efforts of the volunteers, especially those from Casamance, for their timely intervention.
The number of persons, the active participation of Gambians to this very important undertaking surely epitomizes the commitment shown by the Gambian people towards one of the ideals and inspirations of the president, i.e., eat what you produce and produce what you eat.
For volunteers from Chonkese in Casamance, helping the president advance the country's farming initiatives has always been top on their agenda. This group of women also took part in harvesting this rice field. 600 youths from the Lower River region, accompanied by their governor, also actively took part in the exercise. The Back to the Land call, according to the LRR governor, is aimed at keeping hunger at bay.
This is the third time that the LRR is coming here. And at this time around, I am here with about 600 youths in helping ourselves, because I believe that the president's name is used on the farms by virtue of nomenclature, because all the proceeds accrued from these farms goes back to help us as Gambians.
In Bujinga, the home of the president's mother, a vast groundnut farm was also the scene of a massive harvesting by the Bojang, Manga and Bajan families from Casamance. It has been a significant day of work on some of the chains of farms belonging to the president, and much of the work has been spearheaded by volunteers from various parts of the country and beyond. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
Well, we're going to take a very short break now. The news continues in just a moment.
Service at the lowest price ever.
3G AfriCell brings you the most affordable 3G internet bundles ever.
Get your AfriCell Extreme 3G internet service for as low as $15 is only.
AfriCell 3G bundles starting from 50 megabytes up to 12 gigabytes.
12 gigabytes bundle for a tariff as low as 5 buttons per megabyte.
And all bundles are valid for 30 days.
AfriCell Extreme 3G service for as low as $15.
To subscribe, please dial 120 and choose from the available 3G bundles.
For more info, call 113.
AfriCell Extreme 3G service.
For as low as 5 buttons per megabyte, stay connected to AfriCell's 3G network.
AfriCell.
When we say Extreme 3G,
it is truly extreme.
Welcome back to GRTS News. Barack Obama has won a second four-year term as U.S. president after winning more than the 270 electoral votes in Tuesday's elections. The incumbent defeated the Republican challenger Mitt Romney in a closely contested ballot. Romney failed in his attempt to win in the majority of the swing states, ending his hopes of unseating Obama. We have details of that story in this report.
President Barack Obama chose to announce his re-election on social networks Tuesday night at the same time that televisions worldwide were giving him the victory in the state of Ohio, perhaps the most important of the battleground states. In front of the White House in Washington, Obama supporters were absolutely thrilled.
I'm so happy! My first election that I voted in! The perfect outcome! 4 more years!
People were also celebrating at Times Square in New York. Thousands had gathered to experience the victory together in the center of Manhattan in spite of the freezing cold weather.
I think that this is a really important step in the progress of the U.S., especially for things like healthcare yeah, so it's very much a relief.
Barack Obama was with family in his home city of Chicago to mark his victory. The 51-year-old narrowly won a second mandate, 50% of the popular vote compared to Romney's 49%.
Whether I earned your vote or not, I have listened to you. I have learned from you. And you've made me a better president. And with your stories and your struggles, I return to the White House more determined and more inspired than ever about the work there is to do and the future that lies ahead.
His defeated Republican candidate, Mitt Romney, was in his home base of Boston. He had focused his campaign on the current economic situation under Obama, often using his campaign mantra, "We want change." He admitted his loss.
The nation, as you know, is at a critical point. At a time like this, we can't risk partisan bickering and political posturing. Our leaders have to reach across the aisle to do the people's work. And we citizens also have to rise to the occasion.
The Democratic Party president, as over the past 2 years, will be clashing regularly with the House of Representatives, once again dominated by Republicans. The Senate is now controlled by Democrats.
Meanwhile, scores of enthusiastic celebrants marked the successful re-election of President-elect Barack Obama's win in his paternal grandfather's ancestral home in Kogelo in Kenya. People in the rural village are hopeful of enjoying greater progress in the wake of the re-election of Obama. We have details in this report.
Thousands had gathered in Chicago to acclaim Barack Obama upon his re-election. But 12,000 kilometers away, in the rural Kenyan village of Kogelo, the excitement was just as strong. Here in the birthplace of Obama's late father, people celebrated his success in their own way.
I am happy for Obama. This will help develop our region. We had nothing before, but when Obama became president, that helped us.
Sarah Obama, the third wife of Obama's paternal grandfather, still lives in Kogelo. She expressed pride as she spoke before television cameras from around the world. Barack won thanks to God, but also because he knows how to love people, he found people who love him. That's what helped him. I am very happy for him. The atmosphere was more serious in Obama's ancestral home. His half-brother, Mustafa Obama, standing in front of his father's tomb, expressed his aspirations for Africa.
My message will be to focus on Africa, and if they can put more emphasis on education, health, instead of a lot of politics. That is my message to my brother.
Obamania is back in full force in Kenya. Last night, 5 babies were born in this maternity hospital in Kisumu. The 4 boys were named after the U.S. president and the girl after the president's wife, Michelle Obama.
Well, from that, we take a look at the weather report courtesy of the Central Focused Office. Well, we'll bring you details of the weather report tomorrow, inshallah. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. University of the Gambia has gathered intellectuals from across the world for a 3-day international colloquium aimed at promoting languages that are on the verge of dying. The government of the Gambia and the World Food Programme have launched a new capacity development project in a bid to establish a national school feeding program. Barack Obama has secured a second 4-year term as President of the United States after beating off the challenge of his Republican rival Mitt Romney. And Obama mania has gripped Kenya's rural settlement of Kogelo as celebrants mark the re-election of Barack Obama. Well, that seems to be all in this edition of the news. Thanks for your time and enjoy our programs.
والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إنكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من